and welcome back to game number 5 of day number 2 of Star Series Season 8. And this is also, with game number 5, the last game of the day. I'm not by myself. Once again, I am joined by G Advanced. Welcome back. And do you know, like, Flipside lost their first game. Did Poseidon win their first game? Today,
Poseidon won versus PR.
Oh,
remember the game
Yes.
where PR picked Tinker and it was like, huh?
Yeah. Tinker. Well, Poseidon is not going to go for full poison this game because they actually ban out the Venomancer.
5 seconds remaining.
No more poison.
Never mind. They still go poison.
Much sadness.
It is the vibe.
Okay.
Some kind of form of poison still. Timbersaw instantly picked up by a Flipside. We've got ourselves the bands, a Lich, a Venomancer, a Clockwork as well as another Titan, and a Visage and a Timbersaw for Flipside. I think 2 heroes that are pretty strong. Also allows them for a lot of different options here in their game.
As well as a lot of early aggression. I like the pickup of both Timbersaw as well as Visage earlier. I definitely think Visage, of the 3 sort of first pick, first banned support heroes, is probably my favourite one that I would say is the strongest. But then again, Pugna.
Yeah, so we might have a very fast game, one way or the other. Depending on how Pugna does. Pugna's very good against the Timbersaw though.
He's very, very capable versus Timbersaw. He's also very, very, very easy to kill for a Timbersaw. Timbersaw can absolutely destroy him if he gets just a little bit of a chance to. Pugna could die very quickly because of his exceedingly low HP pool. But he has one thing that most other heroes don't have, which is the fact that he can blow up towers, which is fantastic.
Yes. I'm kind of worried about that ward though that Pugna brings. Because Timbersaw needs to spam his spells a bit to continuously have that burst damage coming out. And that's something that I'm not sure that he can do with that ward up. Nightstalker removed from the pool to be going up against the Pugna. Of course, the silence would be ideal. Bristleback still removed, so Flipside to do their homework with the Abaddon. And the Nyx Assassin removed. We haven't seen a Nyx Assassin Visage combination in a while, or at least I haven't. But
no, Nyx Assassin has really fallen off in favour since he got changed so that his stun isn't targetable. Because that stun is insanely hard to hit now. I remember when it first happened and Mushi was missing all of the stuns. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it happens. I'm actually, like, it does mean that the stuns that people do hit, especially the triple stuns, which still happen, are more impressive. Even though they were impressive to begin with, they're even more impressive now. I'm kind of hoping that we will see some more Nyx Assassin later on in the season, that is, because of course this is the last game tonight. You know the hero that we haven't seen today?
There's a lot of heroes we haven't seen.
You know the hero that I want to see today and that we haven't seen today?
No.
Yes.
You have to tell me. I don't know. I'm sorry. Is it Mirana?
Yes.
Is it Mirana? It is Mirana. Okay. I should have worked that out, but I don't know. That's another hero we haven't seen today. Yeah, she's been completely ignored. She's kind of hard to execute. That's really the issue with putting Mirana into a lineup. She's squishy. She doesn't like buying anything but sort of damage items, to be honest, because she wants to make use of the fact that she's got 2 escapes. She's got 1 skill shot on another skill that you need to be inside the enemy team to use, which for a squishy hero is very difficult. But she's so very powerful. She's one of the highest damage heroes during the mid game as far as potential.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm just sad about that. Maybe Poseidon wants to pick it up because they have got Naga Siren, so if people are afraid to not be able to hit arrows, then at least, you know, Naga has an ensnare to set arrows up with. They do pick up the Wind Ranger. By the way, in case of people wondering why Flipside doesn't have any second in bonus time, it's because they were the ones that delayed the start of the game. Because of them, we couldn't start until now.
How dare they? How dare they?
That's the punishment that they get. No bonus time, no time to think about their draft, as they ban out the Crystal Maiden, which is interesting. Because that means that they are expecting these 3 heroes to be the core as well. I was actually expecting Wind Ranger to be the support here. On dual lanes.
Yeah, we've seen Wind Ranger played in... Oh, I hate calling her Wind Ranger. Yep. Sorry, I just had to say that. I hate it. But we've seen her played in pretty much every role you can see. Personally, I do really like her in the mid lane. I don't think she'll get it because there's already Pugna Viper. Though, for the moment, Poseidon's lineup, I really like the way they've drafted here because you don't know anything other than Viper is going to be a core. You know one of these other heroes is a core, but you know Viper is a core, and that's it for them.
Yes.
You don't know who else is farming.
Exactly. So that's why I'm surprised to see Flipside banning out the Crystal Maiden. Also, I should have been surprised to see Crystal Maiden making it actually to the last ban to begin with, because she's been a very favorable pick in the first picking phase, or ban in the second banning phase. So I guess that's already something that, you know, is something that we don't see very often. Puck removed from the pool by Poseidon, as they are still expecting a mid hero from Flipside. Well, they are actually the ones to pick first, so Poseidon has got the advantage of going for a surprise pick and not allowing Flipside to counter anything that they pick up last. But Flipside, they go for Bounty Hunter, so that means that we're probably going to see a Timbersaw in the mid lane, Bounty on the off lane, Weaver on the safe lane, solo, or not, maybe not solo, depending on where that Rubik and Visage are going to go. They could actually rotate and go for some kills, because in a way, both, or all of the heroes, all of the cores on Flipside can solo their lanes.
Absolutely, all of the heroes can. I think they'll keep the Weaver with the Visage and Rubik for a while, but this is an interesting lineup coming out from Poseidon here. They pick up a Doom as their final pick. This is really, really strong once he hits level 6 versus Weaver. I think that's the absolute reason they picked this up.
Yeah, that means that there's all that much pressure more on the Bounty Hunter and the Timbersaw to get good farm, because Weaver, if he is getting doomed, then he is not going to be the hero that he is supposed to be in terms of carry potential. And the Bounty Hunter and Timbersaw definitely have some kind of carry potential, but the Weaver is their main carry, their main core. And they don't really have a good semi-carry, I believe, that they can actually turn things around with. So, yeah, it's going to be risky for Flipside. They will be having track gold going on though, so if they get their kills going, they should be okay in this game.
Yeah, they really, really need to snowball, and Poseidon, they just need to be relatively stable during the laning stage. Once that sort of time is over, they just need to sort of group up in 5-man, because Flipside have pretty rubbish split push. They have a Weaver, is the only real hero on their side that can split push. They don't really want to engage in 5v5 team fights because they have a Bounty Hunter who, in team fights, is essentially dead weight. He's very, very squishy. If he goes in, then he probably dies, at which point he's not getting track off, so he's not doing what Bounty Hunter is there to do.
Wow. He gets pulled a couple of tangos though and actually picked up boots first. So he's determined to make it a good start, and with the harassment power, perhaps he can. He'll be up against a solo Doom by looks fit. Wow! Why does that Doom helmet looks like a CK? Chaos.
That is weird. That doesn't look right. I'm not gonna lie, that looks really weird.
Looks like CK, right?
Yeah, it's like... do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of one of the characters, I can't remember who, of in... what's the film called? It's like a stop motion animation film with one of the main characters is Pumpkin Jack. Isn't the Nightmare Before Christmas? Is it that? I think it's that.
It could be.
I can't remember.
No.
It's like a Christmas film with like a Halloween theme. I know that sounds really weird.
No, I know which one you mean.
Yeah, you know the one I mean, but I can't remember the name of it. Maybe. But he looks like one of the characters from that, you know? He's got that sort of art style to his hat. Or helmet, whatever it is.
I don't know, it looks like the horse from the CK.
Either way, we should probably go through the lineups right now, because otherwise people are going to start dying.
Yeah, we have an aggressive trial in here on the side of Poseidon. They've got Solo once again on the Viper, KSI on the Naga Siren, and Jotun or Medved playing on the Wind Ranger. In the middle lane, it will be Tema Wild, this time on the Pugna. And on the bottom lane, it is Illidan on his Doom, Solo laning up against the Bounty Hunter. I'll leave Flipside Russia for you.
Yeah, on the side of Flipside Russia, we have Enlight. He's going to be the carry for this team. He's going to be picking up the Weaver. The stand-in for the team, one of the supports, is going to be Cliff. He's on the Rubik. And the other support for the team is going to be Buick. I assume that's pronounced Buick. He's going to be on the Visage. On the mid lane, it's going to be the Timbersaw for Flipside. He's going to be played by, we're going to call him Love, because we still don't know his name exactly. And last but not least, it's going to be the off-lane Bounty Hunter on Aloha Dance, going up solo against the Doom. Which is a bit of an odd matchup, really.
It should be... You know what surprised me? It should be a matchup that is actually going to be okay for both of them. They should both be able to get some farm, both be able to get some levels. But right now, it's only... Like, Bounty Hunter's only now getting his first last hits. He's only sitting on 3. as he missed the last one. While the Doom was able to get 8 already, so he is actually doing really well. In the meantime, on the top lane, telekinesis is going up, and Light has got some problems. He is the first one to go down, but also down goes the Viper. Oh, the Shackle did not latch. Slow is there. They are gonna go in. They want to try and get this Naga Siren. Jottam looking to do what he can. He's got himself another Shackle in 2 seconds. Soul Assumption comes in. That is enough to take care of the Naga Siren. Khalif, though, he'll be the one to fall as well. Himself not helping out. Solo coming in for a kill. At least he gets something out of the back of this one. And Light chasing down Jottam. He doesn't have any mana anymore. Book can go for something else. He's got another Soul Assumption, but he doesn't have the mana, so he only slows down Solo. The only thing that he could do to get away from there as fast as he possibly can. 3 for 2 here on this top lane. Perhaps 4 for 2 if they get Solo a second time here. There will be another telekinesis in just a second. Solo will have no way of getting out unless Jottam can save his life with the Shackle, but it's only level 1 Shackle. Solo will get picked up. That's gonna be 4 for 2. Flip side, take in the first skirmish here that lasted for ages and could last for ages because everybody that died was Solo level that they got back into the fight before the fight was over.
Yeah, some real over-aggression from the side of Poseidon then. That fight was started by Solo basically just sitting here on his own. And his supports were way back over here. He had no support for ages. He was just sitting, taking a load of hits from the side of Flipside Russia. He did take a while to go down because Viper's relatively tanky this early on compared to most of the early heroes. But yeah, bad fight for the side of Poseidon there.
Very bad, and it's their aggressive tri lane. They should be the ones to try and make things happen on their side, and they're not getting it. To meet them, gank goes off. Tama Wild, the Pugna, he decrepifies himself, but he's still gonna be 3 versus 1. And with the Timbersaw there, it's not really that much that he could do. I like that.
Yeah,
attempt,
one of
though.
the biggest issues with Pugna. Sorry, what was that?
I like the attempt. I mean, he did blast, and you know everybody did drop low. It would have been quite the play if he was able to get some kills out of that one.
Yeah, the thing is, he's not high enough level to do that. At the moment, he's still sitting on just level 2 Netherplast. If that was level 3, I wouldn't be surprised if he got even 1 or 2 kills from that. But this is one of the issues with the solo mid Pugna, and just Pugna in general. It's part of the reason we didn't see him being played at all for pretty much forever, until the last patch, is that he is ridiculously squishy. He's one of the easiest heroes to kill in the entire game. He's got a 1.2 strength gain. That said, he's really powerful. He's got some of the best spells in the game.
Yeah. Well, I'm still kind of worried about this top lane of Poseidon. I mean, Solo is getting some last hits. It's 9 for 6, and Light though sitting on 7-0 and having 4 kills, I want to say, but 3 assists and 1 kill. So he's doing gradually better, as Bounty Hunter is actually sitting at level 5. So if he rotates top once level 6, and if Flipside can find themselves in another fight, there's no way Poseidon can trade kills anymore. They need to get ahead without giving kills up, because once those tracks start going off for Flipside, there's no way for Poseidon to trade. There's no way for them to get back after that Bounty Hunter has ramped the gold difference up to zillion.
Exactly, and one thing that we were talking about is that it is exactly that. Both these teams are relatively based on, snowballing, because neither team is really running a carry who's going to sit back and farm that much. Weaver, probably the hero who's most likely to do that, and even he's a pretty aggressive hero.
Ooh.
If the Bounty Hunter can get track kills... And,
nicely done.
Whoa.
Tama Wild able to get a solo
that?
kill on the Timbersaw with the life drain and the blast and the Crepify. I like it. No hope for the Timbersaw.
Smart move too, actually, because most of the time people ignore life drain early. Now in the professional scene, they decide to max their nether ward before they get any points in life drain, because there's so many stuns on the field normally. But going up versus a Timbersaw, a hero who doesn't have any stuns, can't do anything about it.
Comes. The tracks are there. The Shackle's still only level 1. Soul Assumption now got one more hit. Will end up dropping to the Bounty Hunter. That's track number 1. But in comes Tama Wild. The blast's already there. And he should be making sure that everybody stays alive. Oh, and Light. He doesn't have a time lapse. He's still level 5. Gets picked up by the Pugna. 1-for-1 trade. Still not the right trade to make if you've got yourself a track on your side. Or on the other side, that is. But nonetheless, they get something out of the back of that one. I think that's something that Poseidon can be happy about.
Bottom tower is under attack.
But they should give up their tri-lane.
Absolutely. At this point, they really, really have to. People are getting seriously underleveled. They're falling apart at the seams. And there's a Bounty Hunter who preys on that sort of game.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, you said it, they're under-leveled. We have a Windrunner level 4, Naga Siren level 3. Taking a look at the supports of Flipside though, with a level 3 and a level 4 as well. They're not that under-leveled just yet, but they are just under-leveled compared to that Bounty Hunter. If he gets decent farm from this point onward and gets some track kills going, then he is going to be able to solo kill any single one of those. With the amount of burst damage
I'm
he
actually
can do.
slightly surprised at how well leveled Jotum is. I guess he hasn't. Oh no, he's 0-1 and 3, so he has died, but apparently not been a big deal for him. And Doom's just finished off his Midas here. I'm not entirely sure about this. I feel like this really isn't necessary for them, and just kind of creates a bit of weakness when they're already, like we said before, a little bit weak at this point.
I guess he just really wants to get ahead, knowing that his team is not ahead right now. He is, of course, also farming solidly with his Devour. I'm hoping that he can do his team justice, though, by proving that the safe lane was indeed worthy of his presence. He's got that Doom. He is ready to fight, Hand of Midas or not. The Doom alone will allow him to be of a big nuisance in a fight. He is not really trying anything just yet, though. He's just trying to continue the farm on the bottom lane, while on the top lane still Solo struggles to get his levels and his farm up. Mid lane Pugna is still holding on to his levels as well, holding on to his laning stage, even though soon Bounty Hunter will try to ruin that, because in comes the track. There it goes, the Chakram as well. Tamer Welt, can he live through this? I don't think he can. The blast is still going to be there. It is actually going to be the Bounty Hunter that dies, and with the Naga teleporting, and Pugna still drops to the Timber Saw. But nonetheless, at least they take something in return. But again, you can't trade track kills, and that was a track kill for sure.
Yeah, it's something that, I mean, we as casters have to repeat time and time again whenever a Bounty Hunter is in the game, is please don't trade kills with a Bounty Hunter. Because no matter what, you're losing whenever you trade a kill with a Bounty Hunter. Every single time it happens, Bounty Hunter can just throw his life away. He doesn't need to snowball. He basically just needs survivability items so he can get track off, and so he can throw shurikens to secure kills.
Ooh, he runs, he lives, no Enlight, he wants to dive this. This might be his doom though, he might be able to get us solo, but he is stuck in place. He does have a time lapse, but it doesn't bring him back to the other side of the tower. The life drain is there, it's not enough. That's gonna be a Weaver that's happy.
A little bit of a misplay from Enlight then. It was a nice shackle, but Enlight had more than enough time between killing the Viper and actually using the time out of there. He could have time-lapsed way before the shackle hit him.
I agree. Shame that there was no tree, by the way, to let that shackle to, otherwise there would have been a kill, I think. Because the shackle is actually a level 2 at this point. In the meantime, we have another gank going off on Tamer Welt. He is being wrapped around, ganked by 4 in total, with Cliff being there. In comes the ward, still placed. But it doesn't really matter, the telekinesis is there, and he will end up dropping. That's gonna be at least a blast before he goes, but another track kill added to the board. Flip side, getting more and more gold. Teleport out of the Visage, doesn't latch, power shot, one more hit, that's gonna be at least a kill in return. But again, you cannot trade kills! It's just, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, and it's not like they're trading kills from Flipside being behind. Flipside are ahead already, and they're getting traded track kills. This is gonna be really, really bad for the side of Poseidon if things continue on this way. I guess their one saving grace is, like we said before, we do have a Doom on the field. He's devouring, he's using a Hand of Midas, so he's accruing pretty ridiculous amounts of gold in a very short time. Yeah, he's also, I love this. I love that he did this because so few people do this. He's picked up the Hill Troll Priest, and it's got a heal and a mana regen aura that is the same as like CM's mana regen aura. It's absolutely insane.
It's just, yeah, it's interesting. I don't normally see that indeed. By the way, the gold and experience still are in favor of Poseidon at this point. That's all in the hands of the Doom. That's all because of his Hand of Midas and his Devour. It's a shame that he hasn't been able to be present in fights just yet, though, as the time-lapse gets used. It does as well, the song as well. They want to go for Enlight. They should be able to get him. The snare comes out. That's going to be one Weaver down the drain. Viper picks him up. A kill that was desperately needed on the side of Poseidon.
Yeah, that was really nicely baited out by Solo then. What he did is throw out the Viper Strike and man fight, even though he knew he would probably lose. He wasn't able to retreat from that fight, but he had his allies coming in to help him.
Well, Doom gets himself a kill, might get himself killed in the process though by too long of a dive. Tries to run for it, does have those face boots, might be living, he does still have 4 stick charges, uses them, the shackle comes in, Jotum helps out, but in comes Love, and there goes the chakram. That's gonna be 1-4-1 in the end. Bounty Hunter going down for Doom. That's the first time that Doom dies, and I don't think that's a worthy trade, even though, of course, Doom did get the gold by himself. Do you think he's gonna go for a Radiance?
I'll be honest with you, Shiva. I'm probably one of very few people out there who thinks the Midas Radiance build is really dumb, and luckily for me, he's going Shadowblade. So he's going to try for some more of an early game impact, gets himself much better initiation. The issue with Radiance Midas Doom is that whilst Doom can accrue absolutely ridiculous amounts of gold, he doesn't actually scale very well with it. He doesn't have any natural scaling. He's very reliant on getting the right creeps for it, and most of his... I mean, he's really more of a spellcaster than anything else, to be honest.
Yeah, I have to say it's, well, it's a bit sad that Pugna died middle. That's it. That's what I wanted to say. Sorry, I was slightly distracted there for a moment. Bounty Hunter, his track kills are doing okay. He's been involved in 4 kills thus far. I'm actually thinking that flip side, they're in a position to start being a bit more aggressive than they have been, especially since Doom hasn't really shown his face just yet, and especially since he hasn't got a Shadowblade ready. They could try to fight a bit more aggressive and try to take towers off of the fights, because even though they've been able to pick up kills left and right, they haven't been able to pick off towers as a result of that. So that's the thing that I'm really seeing that lacks from flip side. Wow. I wonder if Bounty Hunter thinks that they have wards in the
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
in the near the river there, because Naga Siren went for the Riptide at the same time that Bounty Hunter was walking past some of the illusions. Oh, Timo Wild might be some trouble. In comes the Timbersaw as well with the Chakram. Chakram doesn't reach though, but they're still chasing. In comes the Teleport from the Naga Siren. Doesn't have a song, but it doesn't matter. Looks for the Ensnare. Maybe finds it. In comes the Dusty Ensnare. That's gonna be a blast and a kill. Timo Wild lives, and the Bounty Hunter dies. Timbersaw not able to help his team, and in the meantime, Doom gets himself a kill. Gets the Rubik with his Doom used. Exchanges a bit of blows with Love, but doesn't really get anything off that. Friendly banter.
Yeah, pretty explosive games so far, which you would generally say it really helps the side with the Bounty Hunter, but like you said before, Poseidon actually pulling ahead, despite the fact their tri-lane went so badly. The Bounty Hunters hasn't quite got as many track kills as you might expect. I think part of the reason for that is that he got actually quite a bad laning stage. He had an item build that was at the very beginning, he had pulled tangos and boots. That really is an item build that you use for interrupting enemy jungling, that you use for interrupting a tri-lane. Whereas if you want to go up against a solo hero, you might want something more akin to just a poor man's shield or an orb of venom.
Oh, smoke gank up on the top lane. They're looking for the Wind Ranger. Shackle ledges at least Bowick to a familiar. In comes a song. The dust is also there. The time lapse is already used. They forced that one out. Bounty Hunter is not going to be able to get tracks off. It looks like we're gonna see Poseidon backing off behind their tower. They don't want to go in. Still one track up on solo, but they don't want to fight 5-on-4. I don't blame them for that decision.
Yeah, smart move from Poseidon then. They drop everything to basically keep themselves alive. And there's nothing wrong with that because, like we said before, is their lineup is working with their Doom who's running Hand of Midas. So they're accruing a pretty major gold lead just by sort of sitting alive.
Yeah, this Doom though, with this weird helmet, he is sitting 2k gold higher than the highest up on flip side, which is the Timbersaw. So his Hand of Midas starts to pay off, and once he starts to mingle a bit more into the fights of his team, I wouldn't be surprised if Poseidon just starts running over flip side.
Yeah, Illidan is getting really big. He's picked up a Shadowblade, so he's got some really nice damage now, especially because he's picked up the critical strike. He's also got good initiation from that, which allows him to get that perfect Doom off, and he's going to go for a smoke with KSI here. Might go up into the wrong people though.
The dust is there. They don't need a Doom for him. Just punching him in the face is enough. One more hit needed. Can they actually get it? Oh my god, he is going to be able to get away. One more hit needed. 37 HP. He runs. He gets it. Help from, of course, Khalif. Khalif stand-in. And well, I think you've proven your worth right there.
Yeah, Cliff is someone I've seen play for a few teams as a stand-in before, and he's always done a really good job for them. There, he pretty much solo just saved the Bounty Hunter's life.
Yeah.
And like you said, there was no reason for them to pop the Doom on top of the Bounty Hunter. The guy is not very tanky. They were pretty certain they were going to get the kill. I think both of us were too, but
yeah, I thought
Cliff
so.
comes in at just the right time.
Lifesaver indeed, and by that time it was too late to go for the Doom also. Of course, the risk of having people denied is not really a fun one. Illidan still wants to show off his Shadowblade a bit more, still wants to try and find some more kills. Perhaps he can find that on the top lane, but Bounty Hunter is already scouting out that he is indeed there. And he is not the one that's carrying Dust around, because the one that with Dust is actually the Naga Siren. So they are forced to back off, not knowing what could be thrown at them in that point.
Yeah, and another thing that's going kind of bad for Flipside is that Solo, he's finished off his mech, he's already picked up a point booster as well, so he's going to go mech Ags, which is pretty standard. In the meantime, Enlight, he's nowhere near to his Lincoln Sphere yet, frankly. He's going to pick up the Ultimate Orb soon, and it's 18 minutes into the game. Really, you'd be expecting him as a safe lane Weaver to be getting that, but the aggressive tri-lane created some chaos. Bounty Hunter's not been around, and Enlight's got 3 deaths, so things going well for the side of Poseidon.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between that Viper and the Weaver is quite insane in terms of net worth, at least. 6,300 gold for the Viper with only 50 for the, or 5k rather, 5k gold for the Weaver. That's a difference that I don't think should be there, especially not considering that first fight in the top lane definitely went the way of Flipside, but yeah, Flipside, they need to find some more pickups, I feel like. They need to make that track gold work for them, because if they leave Poseidon to do whatever they want to, that Doom is going to ramp higher and higher in terms of net worth, and it's going to take a lot more than just some track gold exchanges then to get back on top of the so-called horse. Maybe they need to take some towers. That would also be something good, because of course they've been winning fights, but like I said earlier, they're not taking any structures off the back of them, while Poseidon have already taken down 2 tier 1 towers.
Yeah, and a significant part of the gold lead is going to be those towers missing, as well as that. If they take one fight with the Bounty Hunter, and then they open up the map by taking 1 tower from it, they gain the Bounty Hunter a huge amount of room to work in. Right now, he has to worry about every single tier 1 tower that's up, so that people can TP to react to all of his ganks. They can also use it to provide sight to them, and it just makes things a lot safer to have all these tier 1 towers up.
Yeah, looks like that's the last outer tower as well. Pugna, of course, being Pugna after all. Doom is pushing out the bottom lane at the same time, trying to find some openings perhaps with the Shadowblade. Mid lane is pushed out by the Timbersaw here in favor of Flipside, but also not able to push past, and it looks like they're gonna try to make a go up on the Bounty Hunter. The ensnare is there, the blast will be there, the life drain, no way is he gonna live through that. And that's gonna be the track out of the way. Timberwell still tracked up, but still already blasting away at the tier 2 tower. Flipside, do they want to fight this? I'm not sure if they can. They
need more heroes to do so, and at the moment they're worrying about keeping Illidan down. It looks like they're just going to give up this tower, and Illidan actually drops the Doom onto Enlight.
Yeah, another save coming out for Cliff, but he might be the one to fall himself. A couple of hits needed. No, Doom is not going to dive towers. He's just distracting them to make sure his teammates get the tier 2 top. Success achieved, I'd say. No kill with the Doom, of course. That's always a bit of a shame, but nonetheless, I'm not thinking that it was wasted at all, because I just made sure that that tier 2 tower went the way of Poseidon, who was getting more and more ahead. 10k gold and counting in favor of Poseidon. Experience graph not that big just yet, but considering the kills are even and the experience graph still being 6k, 7k in favor of Poseidon, that's actually quite a significant difference, which results into 3 heroes on the side of Poseidon, the 3 cores being higher than everybody on the side of Flipside apart from the Timbersaw. And that's quite scary.
Yeah, and the Timbersaw, he's picked up 1 major item now, so he's got his Bloodstone. I do like it in this game, because he's going to be able to snowball from it, especially if the Bounty Hunter helps pick him up some kills, but it's going to be really difficult for them to do so, to be honest. They don't really have enough damage to kill anyone.
Well, they're going to try to go in anyways.
You know, Jotun or...
Perhaps, yep, they're gonna look for Solo. Whirling Death, not gonna do enough. In comes his Song, should be keeping Solo up, he gets healed as well. Soul Assumption still flies towards him, but it doesn't kill him off. And the Song is allowing everybody to back off. Poseidon does not want to take a fight where Flipside decides that it will be a fight. They want to fight in their own terms, and they want to fight with the Doom if they do. So, Doom was still bottom lane, he's now got his BKB with 10 seconds on it. It's, yeah, I mean, it's the ultimate hero to have, the Naga Siren in this one, because... just sing and you disengage. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. It's really hard for Flipside to actually find a good engagement as long as the Naga Siren is doing her job and keeping behind the important people. And the same goes for the Windrunner. I mean, if the Windrunner and the Naga Siren don't wander off too far from their allies, it's pretty hard for that to screw up. But looks like Flipside's going to go for Roche here. They do have a Medallion, but they've been scouted out by a Naga Illusion, so might be a little bit more concerned about taking this. But Flipside, it's going to be interesting. Looks like they will back off.
Yeah, they know that they're not up against a Song though, so that was their reason for going in. But it's still pretty scary, especially with the Doom now around as well. He's actually tracked up at the moment, so they know exactly where he is. And they might decide to go in again without Song. Shackles coming out, don't let just yet. Okay, Zai slightly in some trouble. Perhaps Telekinesis up for him. He gets dropped back, tracked up. Oh, and killed off. One more hit needed. He can get it. Yep, that's a kill. Visit dies as well, though. The Shackle, the Rubik drops. It is going to be 2 for 1 thus far. Bounty Hunter, though, still landing those tracks. The BKB already ended up on Illidan, who can't find another target anymore and wasn't able to, or wasn't finding his right Doom target right there. Poseidon, though, they're not backing up. They're still going for the tower. In comes the Swarm, gets dodged. Poison going off on Enlight, the Viper Strike, but it doesn't matter. The tower drops. Poseidon got what they came for. I'm expecting them to back off after taking away the creeps here from this middle lane.
Yeah, and the really worrying thing about that fight is, look at the HP on the side of everyone on Poseidon.
Yeah.
Illidan lost like 200 HP, he's still on 1500. Whereas, like, there are plenty of people on the side of Flipside who don't have 1500 HP, and Illidan's just gone
went,
crazy.
Yeah, he went like YOLO mode. He went in 3-on-1, got some help from his teammate after all, though. Got himself a Timbersaw as Pugna take care of the Weaver that went the other way. That's 2 dead. That's 2 core heroes dead. This could be a Roshan for Poseidon. It's a Shackle hits upon Cliff. That's gonna be Cliff dead for sure, with the Pugna taking the kill. It is gonna be a massacre. There was a Timbersaw that's back up again. Bloodstone, of course, paying off. But without the Weaver, I don't think they can take a Roshan.
No, I don't think there's any real way of stopping them take the Roshan at this point. They don't have any major teamfight ultimates. The Timbersaw can possibly harass them from it, but I mean, will they even bother to try? I guess they have to, really. But yeah. I thought one thing that was really funny in that fight is that Cliff actually sacrificed himself to the Pugna then. He was killed by the ward. So he was killed trying to use a spell. He didn't even get anything off because the damage comes before you actually cast. So pretty sad for Rubik there.
Yeah. It's yeah. They do go for the Roshan, by the way. They back off, realizing that perhaps still with everybody up again, it might have been a bit too risky. But the control for Poseidon is definitely there. I think the gold graph would agree to that. The track kills are not working out for Flipside. They've only got 12 kills in total. And quite a few of those were, of course, made in the top lane very early on in the game. Now, early kills don't really mean that much anymore. And it's starting to show. They can't get the trades going anymore. They can't get the kills going. And they are losing control. They are definitely losing control. They don't have their entire jungle in their hands anymore. Can't really farm everywhere they want to. And they definitely cannot give away a Roshan at this point. So they are also kind of forced to hang around the Roche pit a bit.
Yeah, and one really, really noticeable thing to sort of just prove just how hard things are for the side of Flipside right now is that they're running a Bounty Hunter and all of their farming heroes are behind the net worth of all of Poseidon's farming heroes, and both their supports are behind the other team supports as well. Poseidons have a ridiculous gold advantage at this point.
Yeah, a lot of invisibility here, by the way. Illidan as well as Tamar Wild walking around. The Bounty Hunter, who's also invisible, but yeah, they couldn't get anything done. Maybe Bounty Hunter, his invis is almost disappearing. He's gonna try to go in. More tracks. They now know where he is, but they're not going in just yet. Roshan still attempted. Soul Assumption flying from the high ground. Timbersaw waiting on the high ground as well. They're probably looking to try and snipe it. Illidan, he will get... No, he doesn't get killed off. He does go invisible. Pops his BKB. Actually, the song helped out as well, but already cancelled as well. Khalif will be shackled and killed. Life Drain will kills off the Bounty Hunter, and Light trying to run. He still has stick charges and a time lapse. Aegis still gets burned, but it doesn't really matter at all. They took the Roshan, they took the fight. They actually used the song just to make sure that they would get the Aegis. And, I mean, they're just gonna take down the last outer tower that's standing for Flipside. Last tier 2 on the bottom lane.
Yeah, that was really interesting there, because Illidan, on ridiculously low HP, he pops off his BKB at the same time as they pop off the Naga Siren song, just to secure the Roshan then. They know that they can't afford to give Flipside any sort of opening in this game, because like we said before, even a small opening, it doesn't have to be a huge amount, but just 2 or 3 kills here and there, it's a level 1 track still, but it might be a level 2 track soon enough, could completely change this sort of game.
Yeah, one good team fight for Flipside, and they got this game, maybe not back in hand, but back in a bit more control and in a more solid position than where they are in right now. But they are still losing ground rapidly, even with now all the towers down. The gold graph increases, Hand of Midas and Devour definitely contributing to that one, but it's 20k and then some gold, and 15k and then some experience going the way of Poseidon, who will be smoke ganked upon, because that's what Flipside is doing right now. I'm not sure who they are thinking they can get though, but it looks like they have their mindset on Pugna. They are at least not able to deal with the Doom because he's not around, which is good, and he can't actually TP because the TP is on cooldown. But they will still be dealing with 3 of Poseidon, and it's not going to be the easiest of fights.
I don't think they're even going to catch him at this rate, to be honest. Pugna's actually got really high base move speed. It's something that a lot of people forget. He's really quick.
Smoke Gang failed, and Ping comes out as the illusion scout out where everybody is. Well, that's going to be wasted time for Flipside, while Doom is still happily farming away on the top lane. I mean, he's got an Assault Grass, 1500 gold. He is very comfortable. He is almost double the amount of net worth as the Timbersaw. I say almost because it's still a couple of k away, but it's close. And he actually has more than double the gold.
I believe the word is stacked. He's stacked right now. That is the only way of describing him. He's a big bad Hellboy, and looks like he might go in for a kill on Enlight here. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do, especially with the team around here. He's just going to Doom Enlight, and he's just forcing him back. He's just forced the entire side of Flipside to react to him. And he probably won't die from this, to be honest.
Well, Poseidon doesn't have any towers lost thus far. They still have their grip on the game quite deftly. They have started to lose a bit of their vision of the dire jungle though, so I'm expecting that to be going up again soon. And until then, well, they're not going to try that much aggression. I mean, they don't have an Aegis anymore. Let's take a look at some more of the items, as everybody of Poseidon is quite farmed. We've got ourselves the Aghanim's on Pugna, as well as an Necronomicon level 2. Jotum has got, of course, his 4 staff ready, just only now completed. Hand of Midas for the Naga Siren, together with the Gem of True Sight, sitting on 1900 gold. We already talked about Illidan, so I'm not going to repeat that one again, but the last one is, of course, the Viper, who has also got an Aghanim's, has got a Yasha. His mechanism, of course, is there as well, and if you compare that to the items of Flipside, of which Bounty Hunter is only sitting on Treads and Phase and Drums, and you know, the Lincolns is there on the Weaver, but no damage item just yet. The Bloodstone on the Timbersaw, but other than that, no BKB just yet, and no mechanism yet either. What are they gonna do? Hello? Hello? Well, I think we just lost the advance. Oh, he's still sitting there in the channel. Maybe they lost me. No, I'm still here. Cool. Well, hopefully he'll be back shortly. Hello? Sometimes for me it works. I see you switching channels. Sometimes for me it works to go to configure, click on the wizard thing, and then cancel the wizard, and then it works again. Audio wizard, it's called. Then cancel the wizard. But I don't hear you anymore, unfortunately. Anyways, Doom. 3k gold in his pocket. Poseidon still playing fairly passive, considering they're so far ahead. But Flipside's still playing so scared that they don't really have to worry about that all that much. And they do have the BKB ready on the Timbersaw, but also the Mantis Style ready up on the Viper. They're not catching up just yet. That's just... there's not that much chance. We try. I don't even see, like, I think it's Mumbo. I don't really see the red mouth being red. It's just staying grayed out. So I think your push the talk button is doing, acting up. in some way or another.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, things are working. I don't know how I fixed it, but things got fixed.
That's all that matters. Blink dagger on the Windrunner. It's well, it's looking pretty passive. I think Poseidon is of course doing exactly what they want to do because they don't have to worry about Flipside just yet, but I feel like they're giving Flipside time that they don't need to give. I think they can go high ground already, or try at least.
Yeah, they may as well try and siege the high ground, or at least one thing that I would like to be seeing is perhaps even more aggressive warding. I mean, their warding for the moment is a little bit oddly placed. They have this ward here in the jungle, which is kind of nice, but if it was up on this cliff here, that would be a lot better as far as I'm concerned. They have another one down here that could be positioned around here, and this would really make it so that anybody who leaves Flipside's base dies, and well, at that point, they can just farm their own jungle, farm the enemy jungle, and Flipside would really struggle to come back into the game from that point.
Yes, we have got 3 people teleporting in because the bottom lane was pushing in without heroes on it, so... Well, the push has started. Perhaps this is the one that we were waiting for, with Illidan already looking for something. He has got a Doom ready, wants to go for Enlight, looking for the Ensnare, finds it, the Doom, the Ensnare, both are there! No follow-up coming up from the rest of the team, but it doesn't matter, he hits like a truck right now! That's one Weaver down the drain, Shackle up on the Bounty Hunter, locked in place, the damage comes out from Illidan once again, but Pugnet to finish it off, buyback for the Bounty Hunter to lay down some tracks, because they need him there, but they don't have the Weaver. And Pugnet can just start blasting, I'd say. Viper Strike already up on the Timbersaw, who's forced back because of it. Life Drain forcing Visage back. Familiars trying to do what they can, but they are, oh actually, one lives. It's fine. Soul Assumption doesn't really do anything to Illidan at all. The tower already down to 315 health. This is very scary looking.
Yeah, have you ever seen that comic that someone made when Doom got the armor upgrade that was like taking literally no damage? Because this reminds me of exactly that.
No,
nobody can even touch him. He just runs around killing things. Oh well, it's a
Nerf Now comic.
Something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it was when he got that like +1 armor, and everybody was making jokes about how OP he would be with 1 armor.
Well, Viper Strikes everywhere in the meantime. Rubik throwing them out. Well, that's Bounty Hunter dead again because crits coming out from Illidan that you would not believe. The melee Rex already down. Another Viper Strike from the Viper. He's tracked up. The Soul Assumption doesn't hurt. That's Visage dead as well. And that's gonna be Timbersaw, not able to make it to his fountain as he tried. And Light also, who forced the time lapse away from his fountain. GG is called. Poseidon. They show no mercy. They just walk up the high ground and survive. Poseidon take themselves another game, so they are 100% victorious today. That was Game 5 of Day 2 of StarLadder Star Series, Season 8. What an anticlimactic ending.
I don't know, it was pretty cool seeing the Doom 3-shot everybody.
That's true.
I was pretty excited to see that.
Yeah, I agree with that one. That was, like... But that's what happens. This Doom was free farming the entire game, and once he started to mingle and actually looking for fights, once Poseidon with the 5 of them started to look for fights, well then it was over really fast.
Absolutely. Nobody ever really punished the Doom. The Bounty Hunter's build was, like I said before, it was built to try and screw with enemy junglers, which I think is what they thought the Doom was going to do. It was to screw with the enemy jungle and tri-lanes and stuff. They ended up getting aggressively tri-laned on. They just never really managed to do anything to Poseidon. Flipside Russia, not having 2 fantastic games here, but they've proven that they can, you know, they've done some great stuff in the first game they had today. Still didn't manage to take the win, but overall, not bad from them in their first StarLadder so far. Not
bad at all. Indeed. Thank you for joining me, of course. Do you have any shoutouts or plugins?
Shout out to Ollie, who just sent me a message that said get a TeamSpeak with a load of hashtags and stuff to it. Other than that, not really. My name's been JAdvance. You can check me out on twitch.tv/setmygibs. I'll link that in the chat in a few seconds probably. And I have a Twitter now, which is, I don't know what I'm going to put on it, but I have a Twitter now, which is @JossWilkinson1. Which is awful, I know, but
as a number, not
yes,
letters.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you can put that in the chat as well. That's probably easiest way. For people wondering, And of course, follow me, Shiver Gaming, at everything, blah blah blah. For people wondering, of course, tomorrow I am going to be on my way to DreamHack, but that doesn't mean that you can't watch Dota on this channel, because Mout will be covering me. Mout Dota, of course, the one that you've also seen on MLG. This weekend he'll be casting here, probably with Beatis, but I didn't really know that for sure just yet. So make sure you tune back in tomorrow. 1700 is going to be the time that it starts, and that's when we are going to be, or when you're going to be watching some Dota. Actually, I think I can watch it as well. I might be in a hotel or something, but I think I'll be already in Jinkooping, or however you pronounce that. Anyways, thank you for joining me, G-Advance, once again.
Thank you very much for having me on.
We'll probably see you back here at a later time. And of course,
alright, thanks very much.
Yeah, for people wondering, after this, I'm not playing anymore because I need to pack my bags. But you can stick around to watch commercials, or support by watching commercials if you want to. If you don't, have a great night, and make sure you do something fun with the rest of your time before you go to bed. See you later.
Bye.